series for internships and recruiting with CI. My name is Danielle Cullen, and I am the Internship Program Analyst, and I am joined by my colleague, Amanda Asquith-Kaya, who is our Employer Relations Coordinator.
Good afternoon, everyone.
You're in the right place. We're just giving a few more moments as people are joining us. We just wanted to let you know that we are recording today's session. And if you have any questions, please go ahead and feel free to share those in the chat, and we will do our best to get to those as you place them in the chat. So thank you again for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and get started. It looks like everybody's in from the waiting room. So I know we just introduced ourselves, but I want you to see us and see us on camera. So again, my name is Danielle Quillen, and I'm Internship Program Analyst, working with the Career Development and Alumni Engagement team. And Amanda, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Amanda Asquith-Kaya. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm the coordinator of employer relations, also working with the Career Development and Alumni Engagement team. Thanks for joining us today.
Great. I'm going to go ahead and launch a poll. We have some questions for those of you joining us. So I'll give you a few moments to go ahead and select your answer. We want to know what employment sector you are representing today. I see those answers coming in. Thank you very much. Okay. Looks like we have a few more we're waiting to answer. Okay, I see somebody, Marketing Maven. I would suggest you're either a private company, right? Or other, whichever one. I see marketing, so I'm not sure what you chose there. Okay, wonderful. Looks like everyone has answered. We have quite a few from nonprofit and private, a couple government, and a couple others. So thank you all for joining us. The second poll that we want to launch is we want to know what industry you are from. So what industry are you representing today? Best fit, or if yours is not represented, please use the other category. And if you feel like you'd like to share in the chat what other represents, please let us know. That would be helpful. Just waiting on a few responses. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Looks like we have an even representation, a few from business, a few from education, a couple from government, nonprofit, and then other. And from the others, I'm seeing the theater company. Wow, that's exciting. Tax software, marketing, publishing, healthcare. So thank you all for joining us. We have quite the spread, and hopefully this will be very informational for you. And we're excited that we were able to start this series. We're hoping that we'll be able to provide more of these in the coming spring semester as topics arise and we find what interests our regional employers and partners that we're working with. So thank you for being part of the first one. And my final question before we get started is, we want to know, does your organization currently offer an internship program? So have you already established one at your employment place, or are you looking to establish one? And I'll just give you a few moments to select your answers. Wonderful. So it looks like we're kind of split on that one as well. 9 answering yes, 5 no, and 4 currently planning one, but not yet. So thank you for your participation in the polls. That kind of gives us a better sense of how to answer some questions and provide you with most best fit information as we move forward today. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing that poll. Thank you so much. We appreciate your participation in that. And we'll get started. So we are going to begin with internships, and just so that we can provide a cohesive definition of what internships mean on our campus, I wanted to provide you with the definition that we use most directly with our academic credit internships, but it applies to all internships. So when you're posting on Dolphin Career Link, we're really using this as kind of our guidelines for posting internships. So internships involve the direct hands-on application of classroom learning. So that's concepts, knowledge, theory, skills that students are reading about and taught about by their professors, but where they're able in an internship to apply that knowledge into real world professional settings. And then internships should also be structured, supervised activities where students are able to learn by doing. So a lot of times we're saying when you're writing those position descriptions to maybe keep the administrative tasks that are just generalized that anyone could do rather than, skilled sets that they're learning on the job. So I saw tax software in our poll earlier. So maybe you're teaching them the proprietary tax software and how you work with your constituents versus just having someone file or to get coffee. So keeping those administrative tasks that are pretty generalized to at least, less than 20% of the job description that you're then posting for an internship. And we'll kind of get into the more specifics of kind of job versus internship and what we consider criteria for an internship on our campus a little bit later in this presentation. And then we wanted to share internships offer an opportunity for our students to apply their classroom exercises in real life professional settings. It enhances their critical thinking, communication, so both written and verbal communication skills, problem solving, and interpersonal skills that they're able to gain while they are in an internship with your organization. It also gives the student a greater awareness of trends that are in their field of interest because they're learning firsthand from experts and being able to work through industry issues with you all. And then a chance to explore career choices in a professional setting. So a lot of times students will come to the Career Center, and as we're starting their career exploration, career journey, we're asking what kind of work experience they have and what field they want to go into. And we're suggesting internships because they might have volunteer experience or part-time work experience at, say, Target or McDonald's, but it's not necessarily in their industry if they want to work in, healthcare nonprofit, or they want to go into a specialized field for data security or any business administration. They just haven't been able to have those skill sets yet. So it gives them a chance to kind of explore choices. And we do suggest that they participate in multiple internships so they have different areas that they are able to then work with, right, and gain that experience. And then it's a confidence building tool for students so that they are given that exposure. So they are able to gain greater self-awareness and sometimes in situations maturity, because then they're acting in a professional setting, one that they haven't been exposed to before. And it gives them a opportunity to develop contacts through networking, whether it be from where they're working with you or when they're connecting with alumni on our side and people working in the industry. So internships really do offer a great benefit to our students, but what do they offer to you and your organization? So the benefits of hosting an intern are obviously that you are able to recruit and evaluate that fit to see if that particular person, student, are a best fit for a possible position that you might have that could come available in the future. It's also a mentoring and leadership development tool that you can use for developing internal employees. So it gives them an opportunity to mentor a new professional. And then it allows you to host fresh perspectives. So in internships, students bring their ideas and innovative thought that they've learned in their classroom and are able to ask questions and think about problems in a different way that you might not have seen, or, that just gives you a fresh perspective on solutions. Additionally, it's a benefit for helping with seasonal projects. So internships can be work or project-based, and so that gives you a time frame to work within to provide an individual, an intern with a project. So that could help when you're busy at a specific time or you know projects coming down the pipeline where you see that your organization needs help, right? And then, of course, building a campus brand. So building that campus recognition with our students here at CSU Channel Islands. So there are a host of benefits to both the students and our employer partners. And then internships on our campus, we really focus on paid opportunities and then academic credit opportunities. So those paid opportunities are really arranged between you and the candidate that you select. It would be up to yourself or the hiring manager and the intern to negotiate a salary or compensation in terms of agreement for this type of internship. So that would be negotiating schedule and duties and compensation, like I said, and what that role is going to look like at your institution or company. And then an academic credit internship has a few more steps involved with it, especially on our campus. Academic credit internships usually fall within the fall and spring timeline, and we will go over timelines later in this presentation as well, so you have a better understanding of academic timelines on our campus. But usually academic credit courses fall in the fall semesters and spring semesters. Traditionally, summer is through an extended university on our campus, so it's not on the general side. So just to provide a little background information, if a student is seeking academic credit during the summer semesters, it's usually independently arranged by a sponsoring faculty and not associated directly with an internship, academic credit internship course. Sorry, that is a mouthful. So the difference being from a paid internship where you have control over it, your hiring department has control over it. The academic credit internship has a few required pieces, such as an internship placement agreement that is between our university, the student, the employer, and mentor who will be providing direct supervision over the student, and the faculty, which will all sign this document. Has learning objectives as well. So there are arranged outcomes for that student's participation in this academic credit course. And sorry, I'm letting someone else in right now, the waiting room. In addition, there is some course stipulated rules. So not that it's on the employer side, but on the student side, the student will arrange with their faculty how many units they will be gaining for their participation in the academic credit internship. And usually it's a sliding scale, up to 30 hours can be 1 unit, but up to 120 hours for the semester could be up to 3 units. And that is prearranged between the student and the faculty. So the prospective intern, it really falls on their shoulders to take the initiative once they gain their internship. And it can be paid or unpaid. And usually we direct employers who do not have the ability to pay for an internship to go the academic credit route, because there is that coverage with the academic credit agreement. But the prospective intern would then take the initiative to prepare all the paperwork and necessary documents so that they can complete their academic credit internship. So hopefully that kind of gives you a little bit of an overview of the types of internships that we see on our campus and that we encourage employers to highlight and recruit for on our campus. Things to keep in mind, obviously unpaid internships, you want to take into consideration the legal aspect of it. So there is a great resource on the US Department of Labor's website that is the Fair Act Standard, and it lays out criteria to define an unpaid internship. This link we can send out as well, as you can find it on our Internship Hub. online. But this is something that we kind of use as our standard practice. And when we're talking to employers about offering unpaid internships, we suggest that you go through the criteria and make sure that you meet all the requirements so that there isn't any legal action taken later for an unpaid internship. Additionally, all internship opportunities should provide a clearly outlined position description, which includes all tasks, responsibilities, and potential projects that would fall under that internship. We usually suggest as well that the internship have a start and end date, because that helps outline everything at the beginning before you select a student and make an arrangement for that internship. And then we also want you to recognize that evaluations and feedback are very key for successful internships. So providing that timely feedback really does ensure a positive experience for all. So just some things to keep in mind as you are developing your position descriptions and thinking about offering internships or expanding the internship program that you already have. Additionally, we do through our Internship Hub, which is new. We just launched it this year, so we're very excited about it. It's easy to access. It's go.csuci.edu/internships, and we'll pop that in the chat so you all have it. But it is our hub for information for students, faculty, staff, community partners, and employers. And on those web pages, you can find a lot of resources like the fact sheet from the Department of Labor, and in addition to our guide and toolkit for establishing an internship. And one of those pages is displayed on the screen right now. So it's a little helpful transition for when you're thinking about those position descriptions and what you're writing in, to kind of give an idea of what constitutes an internship versus a job. And a lot of times we are actively reviewing all submissions through our Dolphin Career Link portal, whether you're posting them as part-time positions or internships or full-time positions. And we will respond and let you know if we think it has been incorrectly categorized. And these are the criteria that we go off of. So this is a great resource, and I just wanted to highlight that. I won't go through all of these right now because I think you can look that up in our internship toolkit for employers and community partners on our Internship Hub.
Danielle, can I just ask?
Yes,
quickly?
yes.
I just want to share too, sometimes there can be, there's definitely a differentiation between an internship and a volunteer opportunity as well. We do have a center on our campus that works with volunteer opportunities. So sometimes if it may sound more like a volunteer opportunity to us versus an internship, we may refer you over there too. So I just wanted to share that as well. Thanks, Danielle.
Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate that. Yeah, definitely. There's an opportunity. If you're going through us for your recruitment purposes, we're able to then direct you to the appropriate entity on campus. And that's a great point. We do have our service learning center on campus that can help connect you with students should we deem it more of an volunteer experience rather than an internship. So thank you. Other academic credit things that I wanted to point out, guidelines. I mentioned previously that you have to have a university internship agreement, and that requires, like I said, a signature. To be fully executed, it requires a signature from the student, the faculty sponsoring the internship, and your employer representative. So whether you can sign on that as the mentor / site supervisor, or if that needs to go through your HR. So just think about that too when we talk about academic credit timelines, because that process may be delayed depending on who it has to go through and how long it takes them to review the contract and sign it. Additionally, there is an opportunity if you are establishing an internship program or have several positions that will be coming available, you can work with our office to establish a memorandum of understanding or another internship agreement that comes from your company if there's one existing. And that could cover multiple students rather than doing one off each time. So that's something to consider as well as you're thinking about the opportunities that are available with your organization. Additionally, I know I already mentioned this, but we want to make sure that this is really thought about when you're creating those position descriptions, but that the internship position description really shouldn't have more than that 20% administrative tasks, meaning you really want to write the position description so that we're seeing that the student is learning hands-on training for what position they are going to be working through with your organization. So if it's a data analyst position, then the task should be more aligned with creating spreadsheets or databases or working within a database and establishing queries, more so than cold calling in sales or something like that, just to give an example. And then I see a question. So could you let us know where exactly to find the chart that I had before displayed? And
I can look it up and put it in the chat.
Yeah, definitely. It's in our toolkit for internships. So we can go ahead and share that link. Additionally, things to think about are the roles of the key players. And so for the employer, when you're putting up your academic credit opportunity on Dolphin CareerLink and recruiting for students, one of the, well, not one, but the key important things to remember of the role as an employer and the site supervisor are that you are ensuring that this internship experience is meaningful and is serving to enhance the student's educational experience. So all those pieces that we talked about before and what defines an internship, especially an academic credit internship where they have hands-on opportunities or students have hands-on opportunities to explore their industry and gain more knowledge is what we're looking at, and thinking about those outcomes that you would like for the period of the student working with you, whether it's a semester or you're asking them for them to commit to a year, and what they will gain and what you can provide within your scope of work for that internship position. So establishing those learning objectives and possible skills that they will develop in relation to their internship is key as well. And then to also be able to provide a structure with supervision and feedback. So that site supervisor and mentor will have oversight of the interns assigned tasks and projects, and can provide feedback and evaluations in a timely manner so that the students are able to learn as they grow with your organization. Within academic credit internships, there are evaluations to be filled out. It does fluctuate between faculty members right now, whether they're doing a mid-semester review and a final review, or if they're just requiring a final review. So do know that that is a key piece of an academic credit internship as well. You will be asked to provide feedback on the student's performance. Additionally, I wanted to provide a internship timeline, academic credit internship timeline. Like I mentioned previously, we really have fall and spring as those semesters where academic credit courses are offered. It's not uncommon for students to seek internships in the summer, but they are doing those independently with a sponsoring faculty. And then it's kind of more of a rush of a timeline to get everything submitted and get the correct paperwork in. So in thinking about if you're offering an academic credit internship, your timeline should start early. So we want to see those internship opportunities posted on our Dolphin CareerLink. And if you don't have experience or you haven't logged in and created an account with our Dolphin CareerLink system, we encourage you to do so. You can always email us at internships@csuci.edu or send us an email through Career Services, and we can get you some information on how to recruit. So Amanda, I think you're popping that in the chat. Thank you so much. And then connect with Amanda, our employer relations coordinator, and she'll be talking to you about opportunities and how to recruit in just a moment. But that is one strategy that I highly encourage you to do if you are recruiting, whether it's for internships or employment opportunities, because working one-on-one with her, I know she'll speak more about this, but you can develop a recruitment strategy that best fits your organization's needs. And then just a reminder, again, those academic credit courses are only offered to our students in the spring and fall semesters, and that those internship agreements must be fully executed, all parties signed, and our risk management having signed off on it and sent a complete copy back to you, the employer, before that student can begin working within their internship, to make sure that all parties are covered by the limited liability insurance and the workers' comp insurance that we offer to students while they are in academic credit internship courses. So just things to consider. And then also our deadline for agreement submissions for academic credit internships is usually 2 weeks into the semester. So at our add drop date for students for their courses. So if you're looking to establish an internship and recruit on campus, that's why we say post early and often, because 2 weeks into the semester is really when our students are finalizing all of their agreements and moving ahead with their internships. So if you're looking to recruit for the the spring semester for academic credit, I would say work with us now to see about getting your opportunity posted in December or even early January, before the students come back to campus in late January, so that they are able to see and apply for your position before their add drop dates, so that they're able to then be in the position and use it for their academic credit internship course. And then I just wanted to highlight, and I will go through these quickly as well, just some best practices, and we can send this out at the end with our slides, obviously, to all participants here today. But best practices, whether virtual or in person, we really want those defined learning outcomes for the internship position. We kind of talked through those earlier. So work to identify, 3 to 5 key areas of growth that's industry related knowledge, skills, or abilities for that student to gain while they are working with you. Provide an orientation on the student's first day with you. That's imperative. We want them to know if they're on site or even virtual, who their contacts will be, who their direct supervisor is. If you are out for the day and you are the supervisor, who's the backup to contact, what are the phone numbers, email address, contact information that they need to successfully do their job. Working with your organization, just like you would onboarding an employee. So all the things that they need to know is imperative for the interns to know as well. Providing timely feedback. We've seen this time and time again, that providing that feedback from supervisors to review responsibilities and deliverables that the student is tasked with is great. Even if it's not through a established evaluation, if it's something that is, a weekly meeting that you have together, whether virtual and in person, so that you can provide feedback to the student, that's just a great opportunity to help the student grow and learn as they're in this position with you. And then stay in constant communication. So I always say the first day when you're providing them with that orientation, to also let the student intern know best ways to communicate with you, whether that's via email or you want to establish those weekly meetings, just so that they are able to have feedback and get in contact with you and report on the same time each week. So if you have that weekly meeting where you have, maybe send me an email where you are in your projects by the end of the week, just to keep you all on the same page. And then prearranged schedules. Obviously, flexibility is great for students who are also doing other courses. and have other responsibilities such as familial or job related. But having a prearranged schedule, even if they're virtual, just knowing what days they are working with your organization and when they will be available will help you in the long run so that there's no confusion or disputes down the road. And then organizational involvement, kind of think of where interns can meet team members and if they can be a part of meetings. So maybe it's, offering a student intern to sit with the leadership team as they are thinking through a campaign or next project, and they're just able to sit and learn, not have to participate, but just be able to experience that opportunity. So what ways can they get involved with your organization in addition to their internship position? And then of course, reimbursing expenses. And I use this as a best practice because if you're asking the student to drive as part of their internship, we would like to see them compensated fairly for that as well. And then the resources that I highlighted, obviously our Internship Hub is your one-stop shop for resources and related information. We're constantly trying to update that with articles and best practices. We are a part of the NACE organization, which is the Association of Colleges and Employers. And that is a national organization that is wonderful and provides benchmarking surveys on internships and employment. So I highly recommend, if you are not a part of that organization or haven't checked them out, to do so. There's also a local branch of that we are a part of, which is MPACE, the Mountain Pacific Association of Colleges and Employers. So that might be more apt for you to join, since it is our regional Central California organization. I think Amanda could provide more information on that as well. And then the Department of Labor, the Fair Labor Standards Act, the test for unpaid internships, is going to be a good thing for you to just have knowledge of and review before you're creating those position descriptions and thinking about posting an unpaid internship. So those are the resources I have.
Danielle, I just want to share as well, also on the Internship Hub, you'll find a great booklet, online booklet resource called the Internship Toolkit. And while we're going to share these slides, that toolkit is a great step-by-step guide for helping anyone who's creating an internship program, especially, kind of walk through the steps of creating and developing an internship program. So I highly encourage checking that out on our Internship Hub as well.
Definitely. And I'll go ahead and pop it in the chat. The next slide is yours, Amanda.
Great. All right. Well, this has been extremely knowledgeable information about internships on our campus, and we hope that you've learned a lot today, and there'll definitely be some time for questions at the end as well if you haven't put them in the chat yet. I just want to share, obviously, internships, as Danielle mentioned a few slides ago. There's a lot of great reasons for employers to offer internships, including as part of their recruitment timeline. And I just want to share a little bit more about general recruitment for employers here at CSUCI. So first and foremost, we do have our signature event, which is our Career and Internship Fair, our spring one, coming up on Thursday, April 7th. Really excited to announce at the moment we are planning for this to be an on-campus event, which sounds incredible to say, amazingly enough, but we're really excited about that. I've seen some other universities successfully do in the fall, and I have a lot of confidence that we'll be able to make this happen in person. Annie, great question on time. I don't have the hours set yet, but I will be sharing that out with everyone. It will most likely be either midday or an afternoon event. So I wanted to share that as well. So stay tuned for that. And we can also share, I think I shared the link to the Dolphin Career Link page, which also hosts updates for our career fair. So you can keep updated there for sure. Next slide, please, Danielle. And just in addition to our career and internship fair, there's lots of other ways to work with our campus, partner with us, and recruit here at CSU Channel Islands. We do offer outreach tabling on campus. If you want a table in front of our iconic bell tower building and our high visibility right by our main thoroughfare and walkway for our students, that can be a great opportunity. That's typically done Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays in the middle of the day. And then also too, we do offer the option of hosting an information session or an employer workshop if you want to teach students on a certain skill, resume writing or working on their LinkedIn, whatever it might be, while also sharing a little bit about your organization with students. That can be a great opportunity as well. We do also have more communication resources as well, like sending out an email blast if you have a particular internship or job or event that you'd like to really highlight to all students, to our alumni, to any specific class levels or majors. We can do that as well. And then coming in spring 2022, we're going to be offering online resume books where students can opt in to include their resume in a resume book that employers can then purchase and download as just another resource for accessing our students and our alumni as well. All right, great. So I think next slide, please. I believe that wraps up the presentation portion. So I want to go ahead and open it up to any questions that folks might have, whether about internships or also recruiting at CSUCI.
Feel free to unmute yourself and ask your questions as well.
Hello, this is Grace Ramos from the Department of Veterans Affairs in Ventura. The reason I actually took advantage of this presentation is because we are interested in interns in social work. But however, we do have a pretty lengthy background screening process because we work with residents. So like they have to be live scanned, they have to have a TB test and physical. And the students would need to be medical insured to get the physical and TB tests from their medical provider, but the background screening we can do in-house.
Okay.
Would that present a problem for students if they don't have medical insurance?
That's a really good consideration. So first, I just want to ask as well, for your internships in social work, would this be for undergraduate students, or are you looking for those pursuing masters in social work?
Masters in social work.
Okay. I appreciate that. We, as of right now, we don't have that as a master's degree on our campus. Unfortunately, I wish we did. I'm happy, Grace, if you want to private message me your email, I'm happy to kind of follow up with maybe some other local campuses that do have that program to just, give you some more options. The medical piece, so I can just say from general experience, that may just be a barrier for certain students to apply to your internship if they don't have medical insurance. I think different schools may have different policies too about if they require their students to have insurance or not, or if they can get insurance through their school's health center or not. So there could be considerations that way. So you can kind of check with individual campuses as well on that, see what their policy might be. But again, too, it could be a little bit of a barrier for students as well. But of course, I recognize employers, you also have your own considerations to take in mind. So, so you can kind of weigh those options.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
I would just add too that we do have an alumni of 20,000 plus. So we may have alumni that are going currently in school for their master's in social work and health services, and that this may be an opportunity for them. So I would encourage you to also put it on Dolphin Career Link where they can see it and highlight that recruitment. Even though we might have students on our campus, we still do serve our alumni population as well. So something to consider.
Sounds good. Will do. Thank you.
Thanks, Grace. And then I saw a question in the chat about who do we speak to directly to order email blasts and schedule tabling. That would be through Amanda Asquith Kaya. So she's going to pop her email in the chat for you, and you can reach out to her directly and discuss your recruitment needs. I also see another question. What's the earliest you see students applying to internships for both semesters? They're usually coming back from the summer in late August. Some of them are coming to campus as early as mid-August to get back on, into their dorms and whatnot, and moving back into the area. But we are constantly sending out weekly emails highlighting internships and job opportunities to our students. We also post regularly on our our Instagram channel as well, highlighting opportunities. So feel free to work with us to send us opportunities that you want highlighted to students, but make sure first and foremost that they are posted on Dolphin Career Link so that we can direct students to that portal. We direct them there first, just because you have the opportunity to place in information on how you're recruiting. So whether you still want them to apply via email or on your website directly, you're able to, put that information in the posting that you are then adding to Dolphin Career Link. So we encourage our students to check that out. So it's never too early, I would say, for fall semester. If you're looking to get someone started in September, start posting those end of July, beginning of August. And then once we are back in session and students are back on campus towards the end of August, we can work with you to highlight those opportunities for students. Spring, same thing. If you're looking to start working with students, they come back to campus towards the end of January. So I would say start posting those in December. And I know it kind of gets iffy around the end of the calendar year, but if you post them in December, we can always highlight them again in January, early February, when students are looking for those internship opportunities. But the earlier the better. When you work with us, we're able to help you in all your recruitment needs. Yeah. Any other questions? Well, we thank you for joining us. And if you do have questions, we popped some information in the chat, and we will be sending out the presentation slides as well, and our email addresses, so that you are able to connect with us after this. And we thank you for your time today, and we hope this was beneficial to you as well. And we look forward to connecting with you for your recruitment opportunities and internships. So thank you all, and we'll look forward to the next session.
Thank you all. Have a great rest of your day.